Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got a dropshipping business for sale in the transportation niche. Created in June 2016, this business makes $3,905 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this business is 40946. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business that cover everything from niche selection to traffic monetization. Thanks for coming on, Trevor.
Yeah, sure. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to have you here as well. Before I dive into the questions, just to give a quick summary of the business for everyone out there listening in. As I mentioned, the business was built in June 2016, has a monthly revenue of $40,608, with expenses sitting at $36,703 for that net profit of $3,905. That is over a 11-month average. Included with the business is obviously the domain and content, also the Shopify account, eBay and Amazon accounts, the eCreator account, all apps and services access, social media accounts, and 6 additional domains. So with that said, Trevor, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses? Is this kind of your first one, or is it one of many?
Sure. I started doing internet businesses, specifically e-commerce and the dropshipping business model back in 2010. And I met a business partner who actually knew about dropshipping. He taught me a little bit about it. And I really didn't know much beyond that, so it was mostly self-taught. And started the business from there and grew it over the next few years. And in 2014, it started really blowing up big time. So I had a few different discussions with him and decided which direction to go. And instead of staying online, we actually decided to open up a physical shop that year.
Oh, wow.
But unfortunately, I'm not very good at managing a retail business. I didn't have any experience at it. So it was kind of crazy, and it was definitely a tough experience. I learned a lot of lessons and a lot of bookkeeping lessons as well, as far as inventory and cash flow goes, managing employees and taxes and all sorts of stuff. So I just didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but the online business still did pretty well. So we decided to go ahead and close the shop down 6 months later to focus back on where my strengths really were, which was in the online business. And then in early 2015, we actually decided to sell that site. And I was successful in selling it privately, and I didn't get as much as I wanted for it. But what happened was about a year later, when I actually run through all that money, because I really didn't know really how to do the same business model right in a different niche, that same guy actually resold the business again, and so the non-compete agreement was void. So I went ahead and got back into sort of a similar niche, a little bit on the higher end, which I like. Then we have this business that we have now. So things have been going great, and really excited the way it's going.
That's awesome, man. That's interesting. You started an actual physical store. I always find it intriguing when someone starts online and then they think, oh, I'm going to go offline with this. It's not usually the general path that people take, right?
Exactly. It's not very common, but I figured at the time, I thought, I wanted to be more part of the industry, and that's sort of where the industry is in the physical storefront. Right. So that was the direction I thought I wanted to go by, attending industry events and stuff like that. But later on, learning more about myself, and I learned a lot about myself through the process.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there's a lot of stress. A physical place.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So for someone looking at this business, maybe, they're brand new to drop shipping and the whole concept of it, or maybe even online business in general, and maybe this is, business they're looking at to be their first acquisition. You just briefly describe how this business makes money?
Yeah, no problem. So the business has a online storefront, and it's hosted on Shopify, which is, in my opinion, the easiest e-commerce storefront to run, the easiest platform. And the way it works is we market through paid advertising, we market through Google Organics, through social media. People that are actively searching for the products we sell will find our store, and they will browse our products, and if they want to buy one, they'll buy one. And then for our end, all we have to do is take the order that we have and forward it to our suppliers, and they'll ship the product directly to our customers and invoice us for it, and we will keep the difference. And it's a pretty good profit in this niche. So, we have to do the customer service. We have to do the warranty support. We have to handle any kind of cancellations. We have to handle back orders and all that stuff. We take that out of the hands of the suppliers, and we handle that ourselves, which we actually have an employee that does that now for us. She's a virtual assistant in the Philippines. And so it's a very hands-off company now. It's really great to run.
That's awesome, man. So with it being such a hands-off company, it's obviously making, a fairly good monthly net profit. Why are you selling the business? Why not just keep growing it or maybe just maintain it, keep collecting those checks?
Yeah, so in my experience through doing this, I've actually learned a lot about e-commerce, a lot about conversion rate optimization and paid advertising, lead generation, and building sales funnels. So I've discussed this a lot with my wife, who I run the business with, and we've made the decision that we'd like to actually go ahead and sell the business to someone else who wants to grow it more, because it's a very exciting niche and it's emerging technology. So it's wonderful. It's a really great opportunity. It's trendy. There's a lot of people out there that are very interested, that are a bit older than us and have more experience as well in e-commerce, and we'd be happy to hand it off for a good paycheck. And what we want to do is take that money and parlay it into future businesses, maybe other e-commerce niches, also doing some affiliate marketing and building our own information products. So that's the direction we want to go.
Very cool, man. So you're going to take the capital to kind of explore these other projects, hand this one off to someone you believe could help expand it and grow it further.
Exactly.
Cool. When you first began this business, I know you had a little bit of experience already in the industry from the sounds of it, but when you first started this one, what was the trajectory of it? What was those first few weeks and months like?
Yeah, sure. So as soon as I got word from the guy that he had resold it and I could start a new site in a similar niche, I pretty much immediately went into it because I knew the products were trendy. So I went ahead and set up the site. It only took about a week or two. I had taken a course a few months before that called Dropship Lifestyle.
Very familiar with Anton and DSL.
Yeah, he teaches how to launch very quickly. So it's cool. And I was able to take advantage of the lessons that I learned in paid advertising specifically to really targeted buyer traffic to the store within weeks. And yeah, within 2 or 3 weeks, we started getting sales right away. And before, I had also sold on eBay and Amazon, so I went ahead and opened those sales channels as well, since I already had experience there, and I listed the products, and those started selling as well. And in the beginning, we actually had more sales on Amazon in our Amazon store than we did in our Shopify store. But as time went on, I got better with conversion rate optimization, running more targeted ads and stuff, and the sales actually kind of equaled out. And now we're actually doing more sales through our Shopify store than Amazon. So
tell me about this, because I actually don't know too much about this. So the products you're drop shipping on Amazon, eBay, those are dropship products, right? You didn't source those yourself?
Yeah, correct. Now, a lot of people I know, they do the Amazon FBA business model and import from China, have Amazon store it and ship it out. But a lot of different types of products. Amazon doesn't always have those products in stock. They don't always buy the inventory. People don't always do FBA on those things. So we're able to do with our brands, because we've actually partnered with them. We actually just go on those same listings on Amazon and just market as another seller, another third-party marketplace seller for that product. We do a lot of optimization with our Amazon store, all the different things, price and quantity and listing, and we try to win the buy box, and we've actually been very successful with that. So that's how it works.
That's interesting, because I've heard of other people drop shipping on these other platforms. I just didn't know that was even a possibility until fairly recently.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity because they drive the traffic for you. You don't have to pay for the traffic yourself. They obviously have the website built and everything and the buyer base already there. Right. The only downside, of course, is that they take a 10 to 15% fee. So you do have to end up paying for that traffic, in another way, but it's very hands-off as far as maintenance goes. We just have to maintain the inventory, once a week or so.
So is there anything you learned from this business in particular? Maybe one big win that is really stuck with you that you're going to be applying to your future projects?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that is, conversion rate optimization is key, and learning how to really target specific buyers through creating paid ad sales funnels. You can make a super successful website, on your own platform just by understanding buyer psychology, who your target market is, what they're looking for in their life to solve the problems that they need solved, and how to actually sell to them in that way, and then optimize the website for conversions using different types of psychological triggers like social proof and urgency and other things like that to make the sales on the website.
Did you find there was one CRO trick? Don't give away the niche or anything, but was there one thing that stood out to you as this CRO thing was either super effective, or something happened where that's very surprising how effective that was? So I switched from a black background to a blue background, something like that.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with it also, having a consistent ending and message throughout the website. colors and logo and all that and all the marketing messages. But yeah, it wasn't just one thing. It really was a combination of many different things. And even to this day, I'm still doing optimizations on the website, still looking at competitors and seeing how they do it, still looking at big websites like eBay and Amazon and seeing the little tiny things that they do, taking tips and observing sites that sell travel and things like that. They do a lot of work with conversion rate optimization. So it's just little tiny extra things every single day, And of course, any potential buyer will be able to look at the website and see all the work that I've done. So it's pretty cool.
Is there anything you tried that didn't work? Maybe something you kind of regret doing? Anything like that?
Yeah, the thing that I always come back to is the thing that Google talks about, which is simplicity. And when I start adding too much gimmicky kind of stuff, hard sales closing kind of stuff to the website, it really does feel like that to the customer, like they're kind of being pushed when they don't want to be pushed. So, I add a little bit, I kind of test it for a day, see if there's any extra orders, any not. And I look in Lucky Orange and look in the recordings of what people do on the website and see how they like it and see where they're kind of scrolling past and see what sticks out to them, where they kind of stop and look at it. So I can kind of tell what people like and what they don't like just through how they browse the website that way. But yeah, keeping it simple is definitely something I always end up coming back to. So maybe using images instead of just text to actually describe like some sort of an offer, things like that I always end up doing.
That makes sense. There's that old line, I think, from Apple or someone who, like, maybe Steve Jobs said it from someone else, the height of elegance is simplicity or something along those lines.
It's true, but it can't be too simple. There's a lot of websites that are e-commerce that are too simple, and you look at it, you're like, how are you going to expect anybody to take you seriously? You got to be professional and yet still simple. It's a very fine line, but yeah, definitely. Apple got it right.
Where's your traffic coming from? What's the breakdown? Is it like organic? Are you driving paid ads? What does that look like?
Sure, yeah. It's a lot of paid advertising, mostly Google product listing ads, retargeting ads through Google on the display network, and we're also doing some search text ads now. We're also running Facebook remarketing ads through the Retarget app, which also does Instagram remarketing ads. But we're also getting quite a bit of organic traffic. It's been building up. We're at about 10% of our total traffic for organics. And we also run a lot of email marketing campaigns and flows, specifically abandoned cart flows that end up bringing a lot of sales back and a lot of customers back in that had came, checked out a product, maybe added to cart and then left. That ends up bringing in actually quite a bit, maybe close to 10% of total sales amounts right now through abandoning.
How big is your email list right now?
Nearing 500. I think it's around 460.
460. Are these all customers or are these people just opting in as well?
That's just the leads list that opt in. We have over 400 customers.
Cool.
And yeah, that's all split up through the Klaviyo email. So you'll be able to see which customers spent over a certain amount, which customers have ordered twice, that kind of thing. It's all in there.
So now that you're starting to get some organic traffic too, are you writing content? Are you doing any kind of content marketing for the site?
Yeah, sure. We created quite a few information articles that break down everything they need to know about the product, kind of in the buyer's guide format. And then we added informational articles that someone would be able to use after the fact. And yeah, we do continue to do that. We kind of slowed down on that and focused more on the product listings themselves because we found that driving traffic directly to the product listings through Google Organics is more, driving specifically backlinks to those product listings and to the collections pages for the brands is more lucrative in the long run than driving traffic and backlinks to the actual content. Although the content does back it up a little bit, but we see a lot of great orders and a much higher click-through rate and conversion rate through our organic traffic going to the product listings.
Very cool. Speaking of, how many products are you marketing right now? Like, do you have a certain amount of products you're adding on a monthly basis, or do you keep it at a steady level? How does that look like?
Sure, yeah. We have around 150 products now, and it's from 26 different suppliers, I believe. We get new suppliers every quarter. So quarter three is coming up pretty soon here. And yeah, we like to do a recruitment phase after that. So we got 2 or 3 new suppliers we're hoping to get, which most likely we will. And then we go through the process of adding them into the website, all the work that takes. Probably about 2/3 of our suppliers are actually we're getting orders for. So we're seeing a lot of orders for different suppliers. So our business is well-rounded like that. It's not mostly from 1 or 2 suppliers. And then there's 5 or 6 different suppliers that don't really get a lot of traffic and we haven't seen many orders from. So we like to do our research first and find which suppliers' products are really getting searched and bought a lot and then go towards those ones.
How many products do you have currently live right now?
I believe it's somewhere around 150. I can double check the number exactly, but...
Cool. That's awesome. Are earnings pretty stable or do you see any kind of seasonality?
Yeah, big spike in the summer. It's an outdoor niche, so it's very popular in the summertime. And our sales this month are double what they were in, preceding months. So our average has been 40,000 per month. Our sales this month have been 80,000. So
Wow.
I'm actually assuming that that's going to go up because it's just May. So June, July, August, September, it's probably going to be above 100. But that's another great reason why someone would want to buy it now.
Speaking of copywriting, that's using the urgency right there, right?
Yeah.
You better buy it out before this average goes up. Cool, man. As far as opportunities, let's say that you are going to keep this business and you're going to keep growing it. What would you focus on that, in your opinion, would be the least risky path to grow this business?
Oh, yeah, sure. I would definitely focus on the SEO. If you look it up on SEMrush, there's not as many backlinks I'd like to see, and there's definitely not as much content as there could be on the website. So SEO could definitely use a lot of work. And I've just been so focused on the paid advertising because I know that there's just so much traffic and sales that come through that paid advertising channel. But organics has such a high conversion rate that it's a no-brainer, and obviously it's a lot less expensive to have that kind of thing. The downside of SEO is that, it's a long, drawn-out process. You have to go out to the websites. Yeah, exactly. But that's definitely the direction I would take in the next year.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, once you're there, once you're ranking, that traffic is coming in on autopilot. You don't have to do anything. Often high value traffic as well. So, but definitely is much more of a long play. Is there anything you would do differently if you were incredibly risky, just kind of threw caution to the wind and wanted to grow the business as quickly as possible?
That's a good question. There are other paths I've thought about going down. Well, I guess one of them I'll throw out there really quick is that I was thinking about private labeling some of the products myself. And that is more risky because there's an upfront investment. And of course, you need to kind of work on pre-selling it in order to make sure that you're covered. You're not going to try to sell something that won't sell, that kind of thing. But we do see other competitors that have been around for 5 to 10 years or more in our niche, and they are private labeling their own products. But, that's more risky. So I don't really want to take the time to go that direction. I'd rather take the time to go the direction of building information products and, doing affiliate marketing and selling the dropship goods online and doing a better job with that. So maybe, a new buyer that they could actually go that direction if they wanted to.
It's interesting you brought that up because I've seen it with say Amazon affiliate business where that gets really big. They use their affiliate dashboard to see what's selling, and then they will go ahead and source that product because they already have sales from their website to help them on the Amazon listing, right? But I could see that being the same thing with drop shipping. If you have this product that's selling really well, well, if you go through and source it yourself, it's immediate bump to the profit margin, right? It's definitely viable.
Yeah, especially if you source it from China, it's much higher profit margins.
Yeah.
Much higher. Drop shipping, you're dealing with 20 to 30% gross margins. In China, you're dealing with 50% and up. Usually, I've heard 70s, percent margins aren't uncommon. So
yeah, it can be pretty lucrative. But of course, like you said, it's a different skill set, and it can be very risky because you are up very large upfront investment typically. So
that's right.
Speaking of risk, what do you think the current risk is for a business like this that buyers should be aware of?
Well, it does require some maintenance. And so I would say that if there is going to be a very serious buyer that wants to take this business, but I will warn them that it's not like a completely hands-off business. You've got to be in, since there are paid advertising that drives it, you've got to be into the paid ads, taking care of the negative keywords and the product listing ads. You've got to make sure that certain products aren't getting way too many clicks when, they're not getting sales, that kind of things. I go in there every day, spend about 20 minutes or so checking things out, adjusting bids. If the products aren't getting clicks, up and down. So paid advertising has gone, from $50 a day all the way up to $200 a day this month. It's all over. Sometimes it goes with the demand and how many impressions and how high I set the bids and things like that. So of course there's a risk with that, because obviously, you can't really tell Google, hey man, those clicks weren't right or something. They're going to bill you for that. So that's a little risky, but if you know paid advertising, if you're in e-commerce these days, you should know it, especially Google AdWords, then you should be able to manage that risk pretty well.
There's a guy I know, speaking of Google is still charging you regardless. One of my friends, he had a capture page set up with his Google ad account, and he didn't realize that the link was actually broken. So he's sending all this traffic to a broken link. And in a week, he spent $7,000 before he realized that this was nothing for them to go to. That sucks. So what kind of work is required for this site now? You kind of just already kind of said it, but what does your day look like on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis when it comes to maintaining the business?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of one of those workaholic entrepreneurs, so I get in the site every single day. I don't spend all day on the site though. I like to spend, maybe a half hour to an hour in the morning. I like to look at things. Like I said, I check out the ads. I see where the bids were at. I check out the negative keywords. I check what the highest cost per click keyword was, and then I check what the keywords were that got the most clicks for the day. And I adjust the product listing ads accordingly. I have a few different product listing ads, and they are set up in sort of an upside down funnel format so that, one of them gets very specific product based keyword clicks and the other ones get, more generic keyword clicks. So I really like to focus on that one that gets the product based keyword clicks, as most of the conversions come through that one. So it takes a little bit of time to do that, but I also get a lot of really good keyword ideas from that, which I then write down and I put into a list where I will use it for the future for content creation and also keywords for listings. And then from there, I'll go in and I'll check out the Lucky Orange dashboard, which is the dashboard I use to kind of spy on the customers. I see how many people added to cart, and then I go and check out their experience and see what it was like. And then I make adjustments to the website according to what I feel like, they kind of went through as a customer. What were they liking? What did they dislike? Why did they click out? And then I'll go through it. I've been doing some other promotions lately, like trying to figure out maybe I should give gift cards, VIP customers to keep them coming back for more stuff, that kind of thing. So I've been working on a few different promotional strategies. I like to build the email lists up every day, add a little bit to the flows for the leads list, add a little bit to the flows for the abandoned cart list and stuff like that. So that kind of gets built up slowly over time. But the amount of work that the new buyer wants to put into the website really is optional because, it really depends on how much you want to grow the business, how much experience you have and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you can work anywhere between, maybe 20 minutes or to an hour a day, or you can work for hours a day on this thing. It just really depends. Right now, sales are flowing. I really don't have to work that much, but, I like to try to grow it. So I also like to check out the competitors' websites and see what they're doing as far as discount coupons and free gift offers and things like that to stay competitive. So that's one more thing that's good to do.
Is there any skills you'd suggest for a buyer to have before they purchase a business like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Google AdWords is the main skill for sure. Running that. And then skills with e-commerce, understanding buyer psychology and understanding the target market behind this particular business is really important because you'll know how to sell to them. Luckily, this business is focused on the baby boomer generation, mostly the early baby boomers. So if you're anywhere near that age group, then yeah, you'll definitely be able to understand them and their needs. And so, you can sell to them that way. And also management of people is a really good thing to know because we do have an employee, but she does a really good job. She manages flows. She's been working with us for about 3 months now, so she's really well ingrained. But as any employee goes that hasn't been working for years yet, there are certain, situations that they aren't able to handle that are a little bit beyond it. So managing people, sometimes teaching them new skills or whatever, that kind of thing. So people management is also a very good one.
Yeah, definitely. Moving into some wrap-up questions here, would you be willing to sign a non-compete?
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
And go ahead. Or were you going to say something else?
No, that's...
Okay. How much support would you be willing to offer a buyer?
Yeah, full month, Skype access, email access, that kind of thing. It's no problem. And, obviously walkthroughs and stuff like that when you first start.
Yeah, of course. So how to run the ads and all that good stuff.
Yeah, video calls and showing the thing. I think the last business I sold, I only did 1 or 2 video calls with the guy and then corresponded through email and he took it from there. It's really a simple business to run since you don't have your physical inventory. Your suppliers handle all that for you. So it's not a whole lot to it. But, since this one does do more with paid ads, the last one was more with SEO. So paid ads do require some more maintenance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Obviously, the best case scenario here for you and for Empire Flippers is someone comes in and buys the business up front for 100% of the price. But would you at all be open to a split or earn out, say, 80% up front, 20% after this training period is done, or perhaps 20% over a certain period of time, something along those lines?
I understand it's a high sale amount and it's not just like your average Joe can go out and buy a business for this much money. However, of course I do prefer full cash payment. If it comes down to something else, we can always discuss and negotiate. That's fine.
Right, of course. Then obviously those are highly individualized, right? So it's a case by case basis.
Sure.
Just to give a recap of the business before I ask you my final question, as I mentioned, the business was built in June 2016, has a monthly revenue of $40,608, with expenses sitting at $36,703 for that total net profit of $3,905. Now, that is over an 11-month average, and included with the business is the domain and content, the Shopify, eBay, Amazon, and eCreator account, all apps and services access the social media accounts as well as 6 additional domains. So, Trevor, my final question for you is, what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
Sure, yeah. If you want to be a part of an emerging technology that's trendy, exciting, and fun to sell, if you're a bit early baby boomer and you're in that generation that's for something that's lucrative and that's something you're going to be passionate about, this is definitely the business for you. Something that's easy to run and manage from anywhere in the world. You can travel around Southeast Asia, Europe, wherever, and you're going to still be able to manage this business and have an employee manage it for you as well. It's truly a lifestyle business, and this is business for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think you would make Anton proud with your dropship lifestyle business. Had to throw that in there.
Thanks, man.
Stupid joke.
Is it great? Good.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's an awesome business, and it is, in some aspects, a job-killing income for someone who wants to get going strong, fast, with enough net profit to kind of leave their job and explore the online world full time. So, for everyone out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want more information, the link will be below this video in the actual description of the video that will take you to the marketplace listing. Now, if you're watching this on the listing page and you want more information about this business, you can become a depositor today. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit. You'll be given everything you need to review this business. So, Trevor, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.